Hello, and welcome to this urgent edition of Steve Discovery. We have just received reports that all the piano lessons here have sold out, and the Steves are outraged. They demand that they have a slot filled for them to practice their musical talent, but when the industry declined, the Steves went on a havoc, ransacking the local landscape. They have completely stopped their natural migrating patterns, and have broken free of their instinctual bonds that link them with nature, due to their passion towards music. As we follow the Steves during their rage, we see that in fact, though that they might be very aggressive, they have not been blinded by their anger, and in fact, still gathered resources as they continue to commit pillage in anguish amongst all those who will not let them tickle the ivories. We see a grand golden-footed, golden-chested, iron and wooden stick Steve as he claims dominion over the nether landscape. We see that this Steve is quite finicky, and in fact he doesn't quite have very good reflexes as the cow-hided Steve looks on upon the hill. Let us see what this Steve has to do. It appears that this is a very shy sort of Steve. Fleety. He was probably being scared by that aggressive golden-plated Steve. He was probably one of the musicians who played Beethoven, but now can't. Oh, how will we ever recover from this grand misery? As we have tried to observe here, it appears that the golden-footed Steve has found a small cave from which he will gather resources within. It is known that these Steves have been trying to gather resources in the bowels of the earth, not fearing to dig too low or too wide, knowing for their very grand branch mining and causing random cliffs to collapse and sinkholes in local towns. We see that the Steve here is very confused. It appears that he has very sloped kind of eyes. He is not quite sure what to do. Perhaps he needs the seeing eye Steve. Let us see if we can bring him over to this Steve, and see if they can make close friends with one another. What a majestic sort of Steve. Oh, but he is not too sure-footed. For alas, these hills are very tall and very steep. They tend not to be too wise when they make decisions like where to put their toes, and have often been spotted only sporting 2 toes, 1 on each foot. Oh, how these Steves must suffer with their ailments. Let us observe this majestic golden-footed Steve as it treks across the nether regions of Minecraft. We are very concerned for this Steve. We have come to believe that he has some sort of eye injury and needs immediate medical attention. But as the Steves have known to be very shy, it'll be difficult for him to go see a pediatrician. As we observe the fact that these nether regions actually slowly change on into a desert. These are the natural rock formations of Minecraft as the tectonic plates move and the continents slide and say hello to one another. Grand patterns like this have occurred, causing strange habits like plains of trees, mountains, and netherrack spawning right near each other. As we journey across the mountainside, we are hoping to find a Steve that is, during this rage of piano instrumentational discourse, to find perhaps maybe a new way to exercise your musical abilities. For in fact, the Steve is a very versatile creature, known to take tools and make the best use out of them. But we here at Steve Discovery don't think the Steves will be able to make mini pianos out of just sticks and eggs. We see a majestic cow-chested, iron-legged Steve making its way humbly across the wilderness. He seems not to be sporting too many items, and is in desperation for resources. Alas, the plight of the Steve. When all the Steves have ransacked and pillaged the area, the slower and less fortunate ones are left with not even scraps, not even hopes that there ever were scraps. We see an unfortunate occurrence of events that a Steve was submitted to the great flames of the world. We hope that he at least left a positive mark on us. It's really hard. We here at the Steve